Hello and welcome to the video. It is time for my weekly bench update. We got a lot going on and nothing getting done, but that's the way it goes sometimes. It's kind of a short week. We had I think Sunday was our last update. We get a holiday in the middle there, doing quite a bit of videoing. And then here we are on Friday. So again, kind of a short week for any kind of updates, but we got a lot on the bench, a lot coming to the bench. So let's get into it. Again, speaking of, the last update was on my 64 for my Cars My Past group build. I've not been able to touch this. Like I said, kind of a busy week with the 4th going on and then doing some videoing this week. So I'm anxious to get back to this guy. Speaking of videoing, we did the satellite Mobius kit unboxing this week. And then immediately after that, we started the 5-kit comparison with the Mobius 1965 Plymouth. So that took up a couple of nights of recording and editing. As I was going through that video, I realized that I was kind of mixing terms back and forth, and that might confuse some people. Plus, I learned a lot more about these kits as I went through them. So I think I'm actually going to redo that video, even edited down. That was 30 minutes, so hopefully we can do a little better on time. I know a lot of people have a 30-second attention span, but that's the way it goes. I think it's a super informative video. Again, like I said the first time around, I learned a lot from it, so hopefully I can share some of that with you guys. Hopefully we can cut down some time, but it is what it is. Hopefully that goes well. Otherwise you'll just see the first version. But that's taken up a couple of nights there, so that's what's kind of cut us down on actual bench time. So moving up top, we got some custom magazines and a custom car kit. This is kind of spawning from Hey Auto announcing he's doing a custom car group build. And these are the kind of customs he's looking for. Late 40s into the 60s. All the really cool stuff, in my opinion. And then this kit is kind of high on the list. I'm not normally into convertibles, but Eric over at Eric's Model Garage just did a comparison between this and the original version and showed it with that original version's Carson top, and I kind of fell in love with it. So it was kind of interesting that the next day that there was a custom car build announced. So this one is pretty high on my list, but I do need to track down that roof. So if anybody's got that original 50 Carson roof that they would like to let go, shoot me an email, a price, or a trade, whatever we can work out, and hopefully we can get that. But I think it just sets on, so if anything, we could still kind of build this project and then throw the top on whenever we get it. So I'm kind of excited about this, going with kind of a pre-boxed custom, since it's like a two-month group build. He just announced it, and he said he's going to run it through October 1st, so it's kind of 2.5 months from now, but we'll do a actual announcement video when the time comes. Once I do pick a kit, I do have a box coming in the mail that may have some projects that supersede this, so that's what I'm kind of holding off for in the next couple of days. Again, looking at these magazines, we've only got a couple weeks left on my Model Car Science magazines, so maybe we throw some of these into the Monday mail-in magazines just to kind of go along with the group build, really help everybody get inspired. So again, look for announcement videos for all of these upcoming group builds. Let me reset and we'll talk about some more. Alrighty, we got a few more future projects on the bench. Up front, we have a pair of AMT Coke machines, which come in via Doug over at Hensley's Hobby and Daniel over at Model Cars, and it's about time to do something with them. And what are we going to do with them? We're going to throw them into a rusty bucket and join Mars's group build. These are probably actually galvanized, but we're in Fantasyland. We can do whatever we want. We're going to weather them and rust them out. I figured just something little to participate in, as I've already got one rusty bucket project going on. And we just come off the Scale Build a Gentleman, which was kind of a weathered vehicle. I don't want to get too rusted out. I am definitely itching to do some candy paint and fancy paint jobs. So again, we'll just do a couple of small projects here, maybe a couple of different techniques, see how it turns out, and then they'll look nice next to the really well done ones. Next up, the 57 over here is actually just a stand-in, and that stand-in is for Glen's appreciation build put on by Mike over at the Model Speed Shop. When that one was announced, my immediate thought was to do a flat top Glen style. I know he does a lot of gassers and stuff, but I just absolutely love his flat tops. So I've been on the hunt for some 57 bodies. It was high on my list at the N&L to try to find some bodies and maybe some dragster parts to do this. I'm just pretty new to the hobby again, so I don't have a deep part stash to just whip up a wild contraption. But the only 57s I have are these AMT Pro Shops and the Revell Black Widows, and I really don't want to cannibalize those kits and a body out of those really nice kits for this. But at some point I'm going to be doing a 57 flat top dragster Glen style, and when I do, Glen will be getting love at that point. And speaking of love and appreciations, Jeff announced a appreciation build for Old Tom Rambler 69 over there. I'm sure everybody's immediately thought of 29s, 30s, 32 hot rods. At least I did, and they're not wrong. But Old Tom also did a really nice Moon Eyes. He's working on a couple of other kind of fantasy Moon Eyes cars. So I think this is pretty appropriate, even though I'm not going to be doing the Moon Eyes. If you're familiar with the channel, I've done a lot of work and research to try to find a corrected Moon Eyes chassis, axles, things of that nature. But what does a Moon Eyes dragster need? It needs some competition. So that's what I'm going to do for Old Tom and myself. We're going to come up with either a replica of a real one or just a fantasy style dragster to go up against the Moon Eyes. So that is kind of my at least initial entry into Old Tom's appreciation build. And with that, that'll wrap her up. Thanks for watching.